groups, I'm going to be just taking some.
Okay, Milwaukee, number 3.
Que llenar los pasillos para que el grupo se vea. No importa que no hablen directamente conmigo para hablar con los legisladores para tomar la lingüística de la ley.
Muy, muy importante. Muchas gracias. Thank you, thank you.
Let's go. ¿Qué queremos? ¡Licencias! ¿Cuándo? ¡Ahora! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? ¡Ahora! ¡Sí se puede! 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 ¿Dónde está Blackson? ¡Aquí! ¿Cuándo? ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! Si ellos saben que hay.
If we get driver's license, if people get driver's license, they will get the opportunity to get another job. You know, Hispanic community are really hard workers, and I think that's good for the economy too. That's another thing, is a lot of people doesn't cooperate with the police if something is wrong, because they're afraid the police is going to ask for an ID, some type of ID or that license. Please, please represent us and let the senators, give us the opportunity to have a driving license.
The rest of us are here in support. We're all from, some of us from Dane County, but other areas of the state. But we basically want to make sure that the senator knows that we really, the whole immigrant refugee community in Wisconsin is really hoping that he will support the provision in Governor Evers' budget to allow people who are here with immigrant status to be able to get a driver's license as we used to about 10 years ago. There is no reason why not to do it, but a lot of benefits. And we believe that this is a nonpartisan issue that will benefit not only all the residents of Wisconsin, but the economy. And you know your area, there are a lot of farms, a lot of factories there. And that, whether we like it or not, they rely on immigrant labor. Look like us here in this room who are doing that work. So we're not asking for anything for free, but something that it's gonna make the communities stronger. So again, we wonder if you know what's the position of the senator on this issue.
I know he went to an event up there called, I think it was called a Walk in Our Shoes. It was a Latino community event up in the Fox Valley where I think they had this discussion. In terms of if it's going to be something that's in the budget, I don't know, because it's not necessarily a fiscal policy in terms of the budget. So whether it remains in that budget, I have no idea. That's not something that our office necessarily is involved in. That's exclusively on the finance member side.
And so you don't know the position?
For Senator Roth, I don't know where he is.
Okay.
Like, these are 16 years. So I have my own business. So for at least like 9 years, you know. So we really dig our driver license, you know, because we drive it every day. I'm driving from my house to work every day, Monday to Saturday. So, you know, I mean, like, and we pay a lot of money for taxes, every year. I mean, I'm paying a lot of money every year. So, and I think it's fair, so to give a driver license, for not only for me, for all people, because we really need it.
One of my coworkers, she's from Neenah, Wisconsin, and her dad is owner of a landscaping business, and he hires some immigrants, and unfortunately, like lately, some of them are scared because they can't drive without a license. It's really hard. It's really hard to risk everything. You risk everything. You're risking your whole life. It's really hard because now, like even driving with no license is an offense that even like immigration could go after you, and that's not a criminal. Like driving without a license doesn't make you a criminal. It has bring a lot of damage to the community, physical, mentally, economically. Because a lot of people like has to drive to take their kids to school, which is like the most basic thing. Like not even mentioning school, work, meeting. It will only benefit the whole state of Wisconsin. So I feel like we are at a good time to start making a change for good for the community and the state overall and the working community. So thank you so much for receiving us today again, and hopefully this message gets to him and he supports our cause.
Absolutely, I'll talk to him. I'm going to speak to him tomorrow. Follow up and see if I can get kind of an idea where he's at after I have that discussion with him.
Thank you so much for your
Quiero decir muchas gracias a los residentes de Madison y de otras áreas que nos están apoyando. Se supone que deberíamos de ser más en nuestro grupo y creo que se dispersaron.
Pero a fin de cuentas es lo mismo para todos.
Sí, exactamente, es para todo el estado, exactamente. Muchas gracias y gracias por...
¿Cuántos de ustedes son ciudadanos o tienen familiares o hijos que son ciudadanos? ¿Quién sabe de las elecciones que vienen el 2 de abril?
Nadie.
Sí, puedes hablar algo. And it's for the Supreme Court, right?
Sí, el de la Corte Suprema.
So, es importante que vayamos y salgamos a la comunidad y esforzarnos de mover el voto, especialmente el voto latino, porque como saben, la razón por la que ganó Tony Evers fue ¿por qué? Por la gran movida que hicimos nosotros los latinos de salir a votar. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Wake up! Follow up with the in-district meetings. We know we have to participate in the hearings of the joint finance, which will become in April and in May. And in May 1, we also have to unite one more time, right? And we're going to be uniting here in Madison. So we're really honored to have Police Chief Mike Coble here, who's been a strong voice for this for many years. And so let's give him a big round of applause.
I represent not only my interests and that of the Madison Police Department, but in speaking for many in city government, including the mayor and the common council.
Yo represento aquí no solamente mis intereses ni los de la ciudad, pero también los de los ciudadanos de Madison y también personas como el alcalde de Madison que también apoyan.
This would be the greatest gift I could get as chief if we could get a bill like this passed.
Varios de ustedes ya me han escuchado que yo lo he dicho en la movida. Para mí un regalo en realidad sería el poder pasar licencias.
If we are to be truly committed to community policing, that requires inclusivity and access for all.
Tenemos que hacer dos cosas. Tenemos que ser inclusivo, incluir a todos y también dar acceso a todos a las mismas cosas.
You should not have to look over your shoulder with fear and apprehension when you drop your kids off for school, when you go for groceries, or go to a house of worship. You should be able to feel free to move about freely in our communities.
Ustedes no deberían de sentir miedo al ir a dejar a sus hijos a la escuela, al ir a misa, al ir a hacer sus cosas que son necesarias. Nadie debería de sentir miedo, deberían de sentirse seguros. Espero que bajo la nueva administración podamos encontrar un punto intermedio donde podemos estar todos de acuerdo que esto es algo bueno para Wisconsin.
If It promotes economic growth because it's a revenue stream.
También promueve un crecimiento económico para el estado de Wisconsin porque se generaría ingresos para el estado.
It'll take down the number of uninsured drivers.
Habrían menos personas conduciendo sin seguro de autos.
But most importantly, it's what's right for human dignity. Thank you.
Pero lo más importante es que esto es algo de dignidad.
Vamos a darle un fuerte aplauso a Germán Sánchez, un trabajador en la industria de lechería. Un fuerte aplauso.
Hablar de los lecheros es bien fácil, nadie sabe que trabajamos 12 horas ahí, con las bajas temperaturas. Somos los únicos que trabajamos en la industria lechera, y la industria lechera es la columna vertebral de la economía en Wisconsin para la gente que no sabe allá afuera.
When you talk about the dairy industry, you have to also talk about dairy workers and consider that our work days a lot of times consist of 12-hour days where we maintain an industry that is the backbone of this state.
Obviamente para poder ir a esos ranchos en la madrugada necesitamos esa licencia. Necesitamos que también el empleador se haga consciente de que él también va a perder o pierde cuando no hay empleados en esta lechería porque fueron parados en el highway por no tener una licencia.
When people are getting pulled over, when people aren't coming to work because they don't have this license, it's not just us, the immigrants, that lose, but it's also the farmers that also are not able to produce the milk and the different dairy items.
Así que bueno, la industria lechera, cuando se dice Wisconsin is a dairy land, ese nombre es muy fácil decirlo, pero no saben que está en riesgo una vez que no tengan empleados, y esa va a ser una de nuestras banderas a partir del día de hoy para esas licencias.
We pride ourselves and say this is America's dairy land, and this is important, but a lot of times we don't think about the needs of the workers that maintain that industry, and that is something that we're going to be leading with during this campaign.
Tenemos que empezar el día de hoy, y les quiero pedir a todos, cuando nos vayamos en nuestras casas, en nuestras redes sociales, le digamos a la gente que hoy empezó algo, y hoy tenemos al gobernador de nuestro lado. ¿Qué es lo que sigue? Que nos levantemos, que apoyemos y estemos pilas. Viene el 1 de mayo y vamos a continuar con la presión. Yo no sé ustedes, pero yo no voy a dejar de luchar hasta que tenga esa licencia. Gracias.
After you leave today, I want you to take to social media and say, today at the state capitol, we took a step forward. This campaign moved forward. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to stop until I have that license in my hand. That was going to
Hoy estamos aquí porque queremos elevar nuestra voz y queremos mostrar nuestra presencia a todos aquellos que huyen de una realidad necesaria, en este caso, las licencias de conducir.
And we're here standing in solidarity with everybody that is here for the cause of a license, of something that they don't have but very greatly need.
Nuestras víctimas y sobrevivientes de violencia doméstica desean obtener licencias de conducir para poderse mover libremente.
Many of the victims, the survivors of domestic violence that we work with would like to have driver's licenses, but oftentimes they're unable to access them.
Para las víctimas de violencia doméstica, una licencia de conducir es indispensable como para todos nosotros.
For survivors of domestic violence, a driver's license is such a necessity, like for many of us.
Esto les ayuda a tener una independencia del abuso y a encontrar seguridad, protección y apoyo.
A driver's license would help domestic violence survivors to gain independence and, in many cases, survival.
Es una herramienta simple que puede salvar muchas vidas.
It is such a simple tool that can help save many lives. And so today we're calling on legislators, and this is a message from domestic violence survivors.
Proporcionar acceso a licencias de conducir a inmigrantes es un buen comienzo para todos nosotros.
Access to driver's licenses would be a great step forward for all of us.
Muchas gracias.
Thank
y
you.
sí se puede.
Buenas tardes. Before I get started, I just want to recognize the students up front here. Thank you so much for your work. My name is Chase Terrier. I'm the Public Policy Coordinator at End Domestic Abuse Wisconsin. The entire domestic violence prevention community across the state unequivocally supports this policy. We stand with you, we stand behind you, we support you in this fight because we know that this policy will save lives.
Y yo quiero que quede claro que la comunidad que aboga a favor y y apoya a las personas que son víctimas de violencia doméstica están 100% en esta lucha con ustedes. Estamos 100% comprometidos a las licencias porque esto es algo que beneficiaría también a personas que son víctimas.
Yeah. Applause. Yeah. Particularly for low-income and immigrant and undocumented survivors, having a driver's license can be the difference between safety and independence or remaining with a violent abuser.
El simple hecho de tener una licencia de conducir puede hacer la diferencia de estar en una situación abusiva con tanto peligro a tener seguridad y tener esa independencia.
Immigrant and undocumented families do not deserve to be victimized because of their status. They deserve nothing less than full and equal protection under the law.
Las personas indocumentadas no deben de ser victimizadas por su falta de papeles y deben de ser tratados con igualdad y con el mismo respeto y dignidad que los demás.
It is now incumbent today upon our leaders to stand with survivors, to stand with immigrant families by supporting this policy that will empower so many victims across this state out of the shadows to safety and independence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chase, and thank you, NWS Wisconsin. Our next speaker is Rabbi Bonnie Margulis. She is part of Wisconsin Faith Voices for Justice. Let's give Rabbi Bonnie Margulis a warm welcome because she has been a relentless fighter for justice.
I stand here today as an ally with my immigrant brothers and sisters to call upon our legislature to reinstate legal driver's license and state IDs for all Wisconsin residents, regardless of immigration status. Governor Evers' budget calls for a restoration of a legal driver's license and state ID, as was the law prior to 2007.
El estado de Wisconsin debe de tener una regla que protege a todos, que les da acceso a todos a poder identificarse. Y esto sabemos que lo teníamos antes del 2007. Después de eso quitaron las licencias. Así que necesitamos recuperar eso.
As our legislature considers the state budget, we urge them to keep this provision in the budget and not take this right away from all of those who simply want to drive safely within the law, to be able to get to school and to work, and to live lives of worth and dignity.
Así que ahora que entramos en este proceso de el debate del presupuesto, les pedimos a los legisladores que apoyen el presupuesto con la provisión de restaurar licencias, porque esto nos restauraría a nosotros también vivir una vida con dignidad y acceso a las oportunidades que nos merecemos.
In the Jewish tradition, there's a blessing for travelers. May we all stay safe as we go on our way. May we travel in peace, and may we gain strength from one another. Amen.
My name is Cheryl McFarland, and I am the campaign coordinator for the Close MSDF campaign.
Yo soy Cheryl y yo soy la que está coordinando la campaña Cierra MSDF, que es una cárcel en el centro de Milwaukee.
The Close MSDF campaign is in solidarity with immigrants in Wisconsin and in support of the license for all. Reincarceration results in trauma, poverty, from citizens to non-citizens, separation, and many other hardships.
Efectos negativos, tal como el trauma, una perpetua pobreza y también la separación de familias.
Legislators must pass this proposal to grant licenses for all and stop the targeting of Wisconsin immigrant communities.
Entonces estamos aquí para pedir a los legisladores que pasen esta propuesta y que paren de meternos en la cárcel y criminalizar a nuestras comunidades.
How many of you know what today is?
¿Quiénes de ustedes saben qué es hoy día? Hoy es 14 de marzo.
It's National Agriculture Day.
Es el Día Nacional de la Agricultura.
I am a farm owner, and I will tell you that we farm owners have focused too much on ourselves, and we are not focusing on who's doing the work, and we need to take care of our labor. we owe great thanks to all of you who are doing the work, who are producing this $34 billion, who are feeding your families, taking care of your children, providing for your families and relatives elsewhere, and we need to support this. We are asking our senators and assembly people to get off their hands, to stop putting obstacles in front of our labor for people who are doing the work that needs to be done, and like in at least 12 other states, to support a driver's card. Thank you.
Estoy aquí en este día de cabildeo para hacer ese mensaje con ustedes, decirle a los senadores, a los representantes que los apoyen, que apoyen la cuestión de las licencias, tal como lo han hecho otros 12 o más estados que ya han dado licencias. Wisconsin también puede, y por eso estoy con ustedes. Gracias.
¡Sí se puede!
Our next speaker is Elsa Sanchez, representing Youth Empowered in the Struggle. She's a senior at Reagan High School in Milwaukee.
Para los estudiantes como Nigerian, Naomi, Eric y todos los que están partes de aquí.
So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I just got involved yesterday, and that's because of leaders like my friends right here behind me that motivated me and invited me to come here.
Bien animada de ver toda esta gente tan aborolotada en este cuarto aquí que es tan grande pero lo hacen hacer tan chiquito con tanta gente.
I'm so excited to be here with everybody that makes a large room seem so small because there's so many of us.
Fue a una edad tan pequeña de los 4 años de que pararon a mi papá porque su luz de atrás no le funcionaba y en ese entonces le pidieron por la aseguranza de su licencia. Tenía aseguranza porque él respeta todas las leyes, nomás de que no puede agarrar su licencia porque pues ahorita no es una ley de que les ayuda.
So I was 4 years old when there was a traffic stop and my dad was stopped because his tail light was out and they asked him for his license and for insurance. He had insurance because he was able to get it and he wanted to follow the law as much as he could, but of course at the time he didn't have a license.
Entonces, ya después de que encontraron de que no tenía una licencia, fue pocos días después de que ya lo terminaron en su trabajo y ya no tuvo el mismo trabajo que tenía, que lujoso, que ayudaba, que tenía horas normales y tenía el lujo de estar con mi papá.
They found out of his work that he was undocumented and he was let go, and that really was a game changer for our family because then he didn't have the stability of a certain income, and then he also didn't have a stable job where he had hours where he could share with us and be with his family.
Pero allí no es un trabajo muy fácil para él porque hoy en esta mañana él se despertó a las 4 de la mañana para ir a trabajar y tal vez no lo voy a ver hasta la noche. Y no nomás en estas circunstancias de las horas largas.
So my dad then had to get a job at a slaughterhouse. It's a much more difficult job and the hours are extremely long. So for example, today he went into work at 4 in the morning and I'm not sure if when I get home I'm going to see him. This is something that has changed a lot of things in our family.
Pero yo entiendo de que su motivo de estar aquí era para la educación de mi hermano y yo creo y yo sé de que él está muy feliz y de que tuvo estos sacrificios porque ahora yo fui aceptada en el colegio de Marquette y tengo un full ride ahorita gracias a él.
So I know that make these incredible sacrifices for us, and I know that my dad has sacrificed so much. The reason why he's made all these sacrifices is for an education and for an opportunity for my brother and I actually just got accepted to Marquette, and I will be attending in the fall with a full ride scholarship thanks to his sacrifices.
Entonces para concluir, nomás voy a decir de que él dice que está bien que ahora que se vaya porque completó su misión, pero yo todavía lo escucho en la noche porque mi cuarto está al lado del baño y se va a llorar porque no va a estar. Entonces estoy muy feliz de que puedo estar aquí para hablar con todos ustedes.